So we're going to be talking about the hit game Red Dead Redemption 2 and the mental decline of Dutch Vanderland, who leads the Vanderland gang, obviously. So we're starting from Chapter 1 to Chapter 6. You know how this goes, and I think without further ado, let's get to it. So from the start, we all know Dutch was a great leader, as from what we've seen. He was telling the entire gang to stay strong, to stay with him, that he'd throw himself in their stead, if he could, of the dead folk. Now, say that was Chapter 6 Dutch, I don't think he would have said that at all, to be fair, unless it was just manipulation. So starting with Chapter 1 Dutch is a very hard thing to do. Now, theory here a lot is that Dutch was always crazy and he became his true self, which I agree with personally, because there's many clips and videos that you can see all over the internet to prove it. Here's one.
I don't. Just give me a day or two to think about it.
Well, the way I see it...
I think I have had just about enough of hearing about the way you see things, Hosea. Ugh.
No doubt you have.
It's not the only clip that I can prove that. There's many more, but I want to go back to the thing that Dutch was a good leader from the start. So I'm going to show a few clips, and it's going to obviously be him being a good leader from the start. Now, I don't know if you're going to agree, but I think he was a great leader from the start.
Davy, Jenny, Sean, Mac, they may be okay. We don't know. But we lost some folks. Now, if I could throw myself in the ground in their stead, I'd do it gladly. But we are gonna ride out and we are gonna find some food. Everybody, we're safe now. There ain't nobody following us through a storm like this one. And by the time they get here, well, we're gonna be long gone.
And that's a good leader right there. It's crazy. Anyway, let's skip to Chapter 2 and see if Dutch is still doing okay, or seems okay at least. You know.
I was talking to little Jackie. There's a fine boy you got.
If he's mine.
Of course he's yours. It's the truest of gifts, a child. Yet you push him away.
I ain't no kind of father. I wish the boy no harm, but... well, you know how we live.
We live free.
If you say so.
Shall I compare thee to, what shall I compare thee to?
You tell me, Dutch.
Arthur. What should I compare her to?
An idiot, if you believe his crap. Hey, Molly, that's what you should compare him to.
Arthur Morgan. A man with less poetry in his heart has not walked the earth since Cromwell.
Well, when poetry starts robbing farms and feeding men, I'll take it up.
Oh, it does. In ways you cannot imagine. I know. We lost people, and I miss them. And I would throw myself in the ground in their place 100 times over if I could. But things, they don't work like that. Listen, we need to keep pushing. It ain't time yet to let things wither and die. All those dreams we had, it ain't time. Because that's all we got. That's all that anybody has got. Dreams. Ideas. It is that or be a monkey. And right now I am picking us for angels, not monkeys. So you stay with me. You stay with us. Because things are gonna get tough, but we are gonna get where we want to go.
So as for Dutch in Chapter 2, he still seems like a great leader. He still seems somewhat stable. There are sometimes you can get, like, arguments in camp, which is one of the red flags of Dutch in Chapter 2, because it mostly contains Dutch, unless you count a few others, but those aren't really important to the story. They're just kind of there, like a lot of stuff in this game, really. But anyways, he still seems stable. Dutch is greatly leading in everything. He is keeping the gang hopeful, and I don't think I've seen any people saying they're not hopeful and don't have faith in Dutch anymore. So that's a good sign. So let's go check Chapter 3 and see if we can find anything interesting there, because I think that's usually where Dutch gets a little bit cuckoo in the brain.
Get to work. This is fine country. Rich country. So get to work, all of you. We can do well and fine here for a while. They will not think we came this way. So get to work. We still need money. Lots of money. Get in Valentine. Rest of us are slipping. Pride. Never forget the pride in our work. You four, I salute you.
And I also noticed that this is the chapter where people are starting to lose faith in Dutch. Slowly, but surely. It is definitely happening, and I'm going to show you a clip of even John Marston, one of the OGs of the gang, losing faith in Dutch.
Well, he saved me twice or more already. Stopped the farmers from lynching me up in Illinois. Just now he had me saved from wolves. Hell, he saved us all from the Pinkertons or whoever it is on our tail. And still, I doubt
You seem preoccupied.
Blessed are they who have faith, yet have still not seen whatever that line he spouts is. What do I know? I don't know a thing. I mean, that man I killed for, the man I ran for, the man I believed in, is that still the same man I see now?
As you can see, even John is losing faith in Dutch in this part of the story, slowly, and it's very obvious, too. So, who knows what can go for Chapter 4. So let's go to Chapter 4, check what's going on there. We'll go to the rest of the chapters, you know how this goes, and then at the end I'm going to go to my thoughts on why Dutch became so mentally ill, or whatever you want to call it.
What are we still doing down here?
Hello?
Thought we was heading west.
We live free. You know that.
I don't need no noble savages speech again.
And have you forgotten that we came down here to get your son back? I look after my own.
Just seems like something's changed.
You've changed. Don't forget who you are, John. Listen. Faith. Faith is all that matters. We had faith, and we made it. We are gonna make it. We have a plan. My friends.
Oh, hello.
My loved ones. A plan. It is a real plan. We are gonna leave this place, and we are gonna find our own paradise, our own heaven. Tahiti, Fiji, Australia, the real new world. Not this God-forsaken dump that all of Europe's detritus has acted out its vengeance on. We are gonna be free. Free.
Now, Dutch seems to be really angry now. Definitely more anger issued. He's definitely yelling more just in general angry. And one thing that I have to say is I think Hosea's death is a big part of him falling apart in this chapter. The way he interacts and says things after this is really more anger determined after Hosea dies. He doesn't even want to go save John in chapter 6 from the penitentiary. So there's only going to be like a very short portion of the Guarma chapter because there's not really much to go off there except for a little bit. So I'm going to show you like 1 and maybe 2 clips at the most. So just so you know, because Guarma isn't really a long chapter.
Hey now!
Dutch? What are you doing? Jesus. Easy, Dutch. What was that?
Horrible old crone.
But you killed her.
She was gonna betray us, Arthur. Couldn't you tell?
No.
Well, I got some Spanish. She was.
You keep killing folk, Dutch.
I am just trying to make sure that some of us survive, Arthur. Now, shall we proceed? It was in her eyes, in the way she was leading us.
But you said you knew Spanish.
I know human beings, Arthur.
As you can see, Dutch has officially gone fucking insane. It's actually crazy. And Dutch, I don't think is okay personally. Chapter 6 is where he gets the idea of really, really wanting to go to fucking Tahiti. Stupidest fucking choice I think he could have ever made. But let's go check.
Yes.
And when Spring and John brings the law down on all of us, what then, Arthur?
Well, I guess we'll have another fight on our hands.
Loyalty, Arthur. It ain't. I had a goddamn plan! John. You are my brother. You are my son. I was coming for you.
They was talking of hanging me, Dutch.
They was talking. They was talking. And now they may come and hang us all.
I'm sorry, Arthur. It's private, you know.
Don't mind me.
Don't act like a child, Arthur. Give us a minute. I said give us a minute.
I just need some goddamn peace to think.
Well done, cowpoke. Well done.
Always in the way, ain't you? And that fool at his ear, they're gonna kill every last one of us. I see that now.
So, here are my overall thoughts on Dutch's decline. So let's see. First, he seems okay, but there were still signs of him being crazy at the very, very beginning of the game. Like, an hour in at most. Even an hour in is not even. No. So, and then we get to chapter 2. He's got that bit of an angry attitude, and he's been staying up later. And he also has that very have faith kind of thing. Because he doesn't know what else to say. Somebody else wants to fucking believe him. Get chapter 3, same thing, just more angry. So I think, and then we get chapter 4, and I think the death of Hosea really affected him. And I say this in whatever possible way you want to think of it. He was very angry, and he was always just saying faith, wanting to go to Tahiti or to Australia, which is stupid. Then they get to Guarma, and it's just a fucking mayhem. Dutch murders a lady, then can't convince Arthur that there was a reason for it.
You all right, boy?
Then we get to chapter 6. Arthur's telling Dutch that this isn't him. He's getting angry every fucking time. Every time. And it's not the same Dutch that you see at the beginning of the game. Dutch is staying up late. You can see his figure of the shadow in his light in the tent at like 6 in the morning, from like 12 to like 6 in the morning in the game, and it's crazy. He's staying up late, and he doesn't usually do that, which I couldn't find a video of him doing that, but you can see that. And then there's Micah getting Dutch's ear, which is probably heavily influencing Dutch to do things that he wouldn't normally do if it was still the Dutch from the beginning. And there's also Javier in Dutch's ear a little bit too. The gang's falling apart. Some people are just running off, never coming back. I think Swanson, Trelawney and Swanson ran off. And I think John ran off at one point too. It's kind of funny, but it's not shown in the game. So there's not really much you can really do. Then Dutch at the very end leaves Arthur to die, and if you get the low honor end, you can go for the money. Dutch leaves and just kind of watches as Arthur and Micah fight, really, and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's really fucking heartbreaking too. And I think even if Arthur would have still died of TB, he could have got a better ending than what he got. In the very least, is what I think personally. And Hosea's death heavily changed him too. That must have been something that really did it. I sound like a broken record, but Hosea's death really did do something. I'm really sorry for sounding like a broken record. Nonetheless, he really did decline a lot down the story. His character is so great, dude. It's fucking immaculate. I don't see one problem with it, honestly, personally. It's like top 3 villains of all time. And we can get to Red Dead 1 Dutch in another video. But this is all I can do for this video. So make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in whatever next video is.